Alright guys, we're going to do an IFR flight from St. Augustine over to, crap, where are we going? To Panama City, essentially. Tyndall Air Force Base. Weather doesn't look too bad over there right now, so we should be good to go. And I've got everything loaded up in Navigraph here, so let's get started. Just do some flow checks here. Cow flaps are open. Oh, by the way, I'm in the Bonanza A36TC turbo with the tip tanks here. Cow flaps are open. Emergency landing gear is stowed. Go down here and check the alternate static source is stowed. Firewall is pushed in. We're going to check our circuit breakers. They all look good. Do a test. SCO, which I can barely see the lights. They barely illuminate there. And let's see here. We'll go ahead and turn some of these instrument panel lights up. And looks like the circuit breakers here are all in. We're low on oxygen, so we will need to refill that. Let's get our beacon light on. Battery, primary alternator, standby alternator. Gyro warning. Let's check our standby gyro here. Standby gyro is operating. Attitude indicator is coming up. That's good. We'll get panel lights on, and let's see. Let's refill the oxygen. And we'll go ahead and check to see if anything has failed. Beacon light has failed. So we're on the ground, so we'll fix that. That is now fixed. My rules are, if it fails in the air, I don't fix it. If it's on the ground, I will fix it. If it fails in the air, I just have to deal with it until I get on the ground. That's my own personal rule, so just to make things challenging. Okay, so we should be ready for engine start. Prop is full forward. Mixture full rich. Throttle all the way up. And we're looking for fuel flow. Do a 3-second count roughly. Looks good. Crack the throttle open. Parking brake is set. Is this it? Yeah. And we'll crank her up. We have oil pressure. RPMs are at 1,000. And we're setting at basically sea level, but we'll go ahead and lean the mixture just a little bit. Get the avionics on. Got to load in this flight plan, so let me check. Let me look at my checklist here. Fuel quantities are checked. We've already put our payload in, so we're going to be going up to 17,000 feet. Select that. Oops, passed it. Slow down. We've done our engine start. After starting, throttle, oil pressure, start annunciator. You know what we didn't do? We didn't test our annunciator lights. None of the bulbs are burnt out, so they all light up. Just going through the checklist here. Everything looks good. It's kind of hot, so we'll turn the door on high and we'll crank the AC on. And I don't like that this transponder starts up in mode C. Oh shoot, I meant to start a timer. That'll work. My hope is to be in the air within 20 minutes. That's the fuel that I've loaded in, 20-minute taxi out time. So go ahead and get some comms put in. Just for the chatter. So ground is 21.75. Wrong way. Put that on comm 2.
Ground Frontier 504, one whiskey is whiskey.
Frontier 504 ground below. Did they tell you to get numbers to the left or the right?
We got them both.
Frontier 504, thanks. Runway 34 left, taxi straight ahead.
34 left, straight ahead, Frontier 504.
Towers 2765.
Hey, ground American.
I'm not going to be talking to anyone, but I still like to go through the motions.
American 1796, go around United, runway 34 left, taxi via Golf and Whiskey Alpha.
Alright, Golf Whiskey Alpha, go around United and 34 left. Ramp up is 34 right.
Yeah, they got arrivals coming in over here, and they're that's not going to work very well. Can you get numbers to the left?
Oh yeah, we have numbers for the left, just letting you know.
Okay, thanks, brother.
Alright.
And we'll go ahead and put in St. Augustine BR 1094.
Frontier 504, towers 135.3, have a good one.
Frontier 504 as well.
And we're going to be taking off, looks like runway 6. So we'll go ahead and put that in the HSI here. Just put it at heading of 060 to start with. And
Ground good afternoon, United 2031 Heavy, 3 Whiskey with Whiskey, thanks.
United 2031 Heavy, ground runway 34 left, taxi via Golf and Whiskey Alpha.
34 left, Golf Whiskey Alpha, United 2031 Heavy.
oops, wrong one. So runway 6 will be right there, so it's a 066.
American 1796. Alright, you got it now. Thanks. Golf Whiskey Alpha.
Okay, we'll take Golf down to Whiskey Alpha, yeah. I'm going the right way now, American 1796.
Fuel is already in. Need the routing.
Ground United 1265, we're Alpha November, just got a gate change up to the north side here, we're Aviation Lima. So it's about you, just turn right on Lima, going to Bravo November, keep your feet up, I'll have that Frontier pass behind you. Alright, Lima to Bravo November, thanks for the help, United 1265.
So we're departing Kilo Sierra Golf Juliet. Enter that. We will arrive.
American 1796, next right turn, monitor tower 135.3, good night.
Alpha.
35-3, next right turn, American 1796.
When I put this in, you guys will notice this parking brake going in and out. Though the parking brake comes off, the aircraft will not move. I don't know why it does that. That's a bug. See it do that? And now let's put the routing in, so we'll go here. And we'll go direct to Charlie function. I have no idea why that just happened.
Down up to 1606,
Charlie
7 Whiskey,
Foxtrot
with
3.
Whiskey.
Southwest 1606, ground runway 34 left, taxi via Golf and Whiskey Alpha.
Yeah, 34
That's right,
left,
okay.
Golf,
I don't know why
and Whiskey Alpha.
my view just changed like that. Then we'll go direct to Kilo Charlie Golf. Plug that in. Direct to
Southwest 1648, do you have the numbers for
Lima
34 left?
Charlie. Quebec.
Southwest 1648.
Yeah.
South 1648, do you have the numbers for 34 left?
Direct to
We have numbers for everything. What do you need? 1648?
Kilo
South
Tango.
1648, I was just making sure you're not going to have to set your parking brake to reprogram it in.
And then direct
We took care of it before
to
we played.
the Tyndale
Alright,
Airport.
thanks.
Alright, so that looks good. Should all be in there. And our track there is going to be a 003.
Yeah, 74 down. Probably that first southwest from like 34 left falling.
On the first southwest to 34 left, 974.
Yeah, 2031 heavy monitor tower 135.3 today.
1353, bye-bye.
Alright, let's look at our... check our routing.
A4 monitor tower 135.3 today.
35-3, good day, 974.
Alright. It all looks good. Ooh, it's gotten quite cold in here. You know what we did do?
Citation 9003 Mike Charlie, down,
Get
hold
the,
short of
altimeter
taxiway
set
golf
for
and
the
expect runway 34 left.
Departure airport.
Hold short of golf, we'll expect to report left.
3021. Let's check the airport elevation.
You're in 83, just verify that transponder's on or recycle it.
How's it look now?
You're in 830, thanks, got it.
10 feet. So that is correct. That's the runway elevation right there, but that works. Let's put that in our standby altimeter. Here we go.
Citation 3 Mike Charlie behind the southwest from my 34 left, taxi straight ahead.
34 left, straight ahead behind the southwest.
So we should be ready to taxi. And we're going to depart runway 6, which is fairly close to us. Look over my checklist. We should be after start is complete. We're at the run-up portion of the checklist, so we're ready. Let's get some taxi lights on, park and brake off.
Number 4476 behind United, runway 34 left, taxi via Golf and Whiskey
Go ahead
Alpha.
and set our trim.
Alright, behind United,
Take
34
off.
left, Golf Whiskey Alpha.
Flaps to take off. Clear left. So you see how these runways are. This is where it's important to check the runway when you enter the runway to make sure you're on the proper one. So this says runway 6 right here.
Number 4476 at Alpha Alpha, give way to Delta out of the ramp.
Alright, we'll give way to Delta on the 4476.
It's also runway, what is that, 2?
Delta 2333, the RJ will wait on you.
Thank you, Delta.
Taxi lights off, park and brake on. And let's do a quick run up. Make sure full rich, counter flaps are open. Engine RPMs 1700.
Southwest 1606, monitor tower 135.3, good day.
Cycle the prop.
1606, good day.
Just a couple times. Do a mag check. right mag first.
Aviation 3 Mike
That's
Charlie,
good.
monitor tower
Back to both.
135.3, good day.
Monitor tower, good day, 3 Mike Charlie.
Do a left mag check. Looks good. Back to both. And check our standby. So let's go with the primary alternator off. Low meter secondary. It's taking the load.
United 830, monitor tower 135.3,
Standby
good day.
off.
United 830, good day.
Zeroes out. Go back to the primary. Turn the primary alternator on. Takes load. Standby back to on. Check our pitot heat. We have deflection. Pitot heat off. Prop de-ice. We have deflection. Prop amps. We're up. And normal.
1824, taxi via Bravo Sierra.
Check our instrument air. We're in the green. Looks good. Power to idle. Make sure she idles.
Delta
And the engine
2333,
idles.
monitor
Bump the
tower
RPMs back up to
135.3, good day.
1,000. And let me look at my run-up checklist. Just to go through the motions.
1193 ground, thanks
That
for your
one
help.
goes down.
Continue behind company via Foxtrot Bravo Sierra.
Down, up,
Foxtrot Bravo Sierra, we will pass you
controls
guys.
filled. Free and correct. Rudders. Trims are set. Counterflops are down. Okay. Run-up checklist. Park and brake. Annunciators test and consider, which we did test them. Exercise propeller, magneto check, instrument air, primary alternator.
Good morning,
Did all that.
401, stop 33 right kilo. Charlie 401, ground, taxi parking, Papa Bravo. Bravo, finish visual.
The thing I really didn't do is a autopilot check, so let's bring up the flight director and put the autopilot heading mode. Flight director moves. If I turn the autopilot on,
Delta
moves.
2641-6. Delta 2641, runway 28 DIS pad, taxi via Tango Charlie. Tango Charlie to 28 DIS pad, Delta 2641.
Need to turn the heading bug. Bring the
United
autopilot
270,
on.
we're ready to push from Bravo
Autopilot is
15, and we're going to go to the DIS pad. Yeah, 270 ground, roger. Let Delta pass behind you first, and then push back to proof. After Delta, push through United 270.
trim. Okay. That's good. Let's put the heading bug back to a 003.
Southwest 287, ready to taxi. Southwest 287, runway 28 taxi.
I should have leaned the mixture a little bit.
Tango Uniform
We're
2,
still sitting there.
Southwest 287.
Okay, looking at the checklist again. Let's check the elevator trim. Reset it. That's good. Flaps are set to take off.
Go to Alpha 6.
All right, before takeoff, make sure
Tango
max
Alpha 6,
power,
Delta
low
571.
temperature. Low temperature's in the green. Auxiliary fuel pump is off.
Southwest
Air conditioner is currently off. Probably gonna need the heat now.
South 546, runway 28, follow company from the right on Tango. Runway 28, follow company off or right on Tango, Southwest 546.
Swap over to tower.
And then 2680 tower, runway 22 right at Whiskey, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, 2682.
Let's see. Weather radar. Leaving standby for the moment. Take off. Throttle full open. Brakes release. Instruments check. Landing gear up. No runway remaining. Flaps retract. Autopilot engaged. Max continuous power. Okay. Just refreshing myself on what we're going to do there.
United
Alright.
2682, wind 1604, runway
Ready
22 right at
for
Whiskey, click
takeoff.
takeoff.
Taxi lights on.
2682,
Strobes
clear for
on.
takeoff. Thank you.
Parking brake off. Pitot heat on. We'll check our runway
American
alignment.
2938 tower, runway 23 right at whiskey, line up and wait.
60 right whiskey, line up and wait. American 2938.
Line up and wait. That's not me. I'm 572 Tango Mike. So I see runway 6. This is not a very long runway. I think it's like 2,700 feet long. Magnetic heading of 6. HSI is at 6. How long is this for?
United 1884,
2,700
contact
feet.
New York departure. Good day.
Not terribly long. Alright, we'll go with mixture full rich. Cowl flaps are open. Trims, flaps, controls, ready to go. Landing lights on, taxi lights off. Engine instruments check.
1399, wind 1307, runway
Takeoff power.
right at whiskey, clear takeoff.
Takeoff power set.
Takeoff 50 right at whiskey.
Everything's in the green.
1399.
Cautions, no warnings. Airspeed is alive. Wind is from the right. We'll rotate at about 75 knots. Little crosswind there, 75. Ease back just a little bit. We're up. Tap the brakes. Landing gears coming up. Maintain the runway extended center line. Above 100 knots. Flaps coming up.
Delta
And I did not set a
right
timer.
at whiskey, line up and wait.
Timer's running. Go ahead and pull the prop RPMs back to about 2,600. Get the flight director on. Into heading mode. 1,000-foot climb, vertical speed mode.
Jeremy 1399, contact your departure.
Hand flying, just follow the flight director. Little right aileron on trim.
Delta
And we'll
2434
contact
tower,
departure.
11.
Fairway 358, turn right heading 040. Right 040,
Jacksonville departure. Bonanza November 572. Tango Mike is passing 1,200 for 17,000.
Spirit 1096, turn left heading 300.
Of course, I'm not actually speaking to anyone, but
300, intercept below 27 right, Spirit 1096.
more, a little bit more trim. Keeps wanting to turn left, bank left.
Spirit 1096, reduce speed to 170. Low to 170, Spirit 1096.
Alright, she's all trimmed out. Autopilot engaged. Increase that climb a bit. And we'll go to our flight plan.
Piedmont 9980, turn right heading 180. Right 180, Piedmont 9980.
Enter, and we're going to nav mode. Max continuous power. We're in an en route climb now. Make sure max power. Propeller 2,500 RPM.
Piedmont 9980, reduce speed to 190, then descend and maintain 3000.
Cowl flaps open.
Reduce speed to 190, then descend 3000.
It is nice and warm in here. Shoot. Reduce that heat a little bit.
Spirit 1096, you still at the airport in sight?
Oxygen is required.
Spirit 1096, put visual approach runway 27 right, maintain 170 till Jalto. There'll be about 3 landing on 35 cardio. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for him. 170 to Jalto, Spirit.
If this flight is kind of lengthy for you guys, just you know, fast forward through portions of it. Take me a little sip of coffee. Turbulence there.
Piedmont 686, descend and maintain 4000. You're on the 4000, Piedmont 686.
Go ahead and increase the climb to about 1500.
Spirit 1096, contact tower 118.5.
1018.5, Spirit 1096, have a good night.
Got a few thermals here. See, our course is 358, so we need to set the HS out of that. So we're almost there. Next course will be 321. So we're going to set 321.
About 9980, turn right, heading 240, intercept the localizer.
Right 240, intercept localizer, Piedmont 9980.
About 686, turn left, heading
We're going to keep the
300,
climb
might be
right around
effective across.
110 knots indicated.
300, Piedmont 996.
And I'm just going to sit back and monitor things. It's a pretty nice day out. I did check all the icing levels. We should be
Piedmont
good.
9980,
to go
reduce
up
speed
to,
to 170.
17,000 feet.
Reduce speed 170, Piedmont 9980.
Let's see, where are we at on here? So here's icing at 14,000. Let's check 10. That's good. About 18,000.
Piedmont
Shouldn't have
686,
any
you can
icing.
join the localizer on that head now.
Going to localizer, Piedmont 686.
Sorry, guys. Should be good. What about turbulence? Sure seemed like we were getting some. There's 14. There's 10.
Piedmont 686, speed 170.
170, Piedmont 686.
Bring up our telemetry.
Piedmont 9980, advise
Bring
airport
that
site
heat
1
back
o'clock and about 11 miles.
Airport site 9980.
It's quite difficult to keep the cabin temperature where you want it. You forget about it all the time.
Piedmont 9980, clear visual approach runway
don't really
27 right,
need the
maintain
radar,
170
but
on
we'll
optical
put it on.
Jalto.
Clear for the visual to center right, 170 to Jalto, Piedmont 9980.
Looks like we did get off the ground within 20 minutes. That was the goal. Left to 321. Motor heading over.
American 2049, descend and maintain 3000.
3000, American 2489.
We'll lean the mixture just a touch.
Piedmont 686, advise airport in sight, 12 o'clock, 14 mile.
Too much. This is a turbocharged aircraft, so you pretty much run the mixture full rich all the way up to the critical altitude, which is 19,000 feet for this aircraft. So we won't lean the mixture until we pull the power back in cruise flight.
Piedmont 686, clear visual 27 right, 170 until Jalto.
Clear visual, 27 right, 170 to Jalto, Piedmont 686.
Sorry if my head got all wonky
686
there.
amend the speed, make it 160 until Jalto now.
My wife just got home, so
Jalto, P158.
had to look over and give her a kiss. Alright, we're above 10,000 feet. Turn the landing lights off. Check the
Piedmont
outside air
9980,
temperature.
contact tower 118.5.
Tower 185, Piedmont 9980.
GPS 2920 heavy, level 6,210 knots, heading 060.
GPS 2920 heavy, approach, roger. GPS 2920, turn left, heading 030.
030, heading GPS 2920 heavy.
Take me another sip of coffee.
American 2049, turn left, heading 340, descend and maintain 2,100.
That's good.
2,100, left turn to 340, American 2049.
You know, I probably shouldn't be drinking coffee at 7:05 p.m. Especially considering I have to get up at about 5:30 in the morning.
GPS 2920 heavy, descend and maintain 3,000.
3,000, GPS 2920 heavy.
I know it doesn't look like it's 7 p.m. out here. I say them because I backed up the time a little bit. I didn't want to fly at night. But it is here at my house. Okay, we're above 12,005 or 12,500
Piedmont
feet.
686, contact tower
Which means we
118.5.
need to get the oxygen on. So, everybody put your oxygen mask on.
American 2049, turn left, heading 300,
Right.
intercept localizer.
Coming up on our next waypoint.
Right, American 2049.
Be 267.
UPS 2920 heavy, turn left, heading 350.
Left heading 350, UPS 2920 heavy.
I'm going to go ahead and increase our airspeed. Lower our climb rate to about
American 2489, reduce speed to 170, advise the airport in sight. 170, airport in sight, American 2489.
Gonna lean the mixture just a touch more. That's good. Alright, left to 267.
2049, clear visual approach runway 27 right, maintain 170 until Jalto. Clear to visual, 27 right, 170 to Jalto, American 2049. UPS 2920, descend to maintain 2,100 and fly heading 300 to intercept the localizer.
At heading 300, 2,100, UPS 2920 heavy. Yeah, you still need that speed for 210 knots?
No, you can actually slow to 170 now.
Thanks,
I
170
kind
on the
of
speed, UPS
overshot that a
2920
bit. We are going to have a headwind all the way over there.
American 2049, contact tower 118.5. 18.5, American 2049 with you.
Now would be a good time to go ahead and swap tanks. Just to keep things balanced.
American 805, descend to maintain 5,000.
Descend to 5,000, American 805.
GPS 2920, advise the airport in sight. It's going to be 11 o'clock in about 11 miles.
Inside GPS 2920 Heavy.
GPS 2920 Heavy, cleared visual approach runway 27 right, maintain 170 knots until Jalto.
Cleared for the visual 27 right, 170 until Jalto.
Lower our climb speed now to about 500 feet per minute. Continue to increase our airspeed a little bit at a time. Engine performance looks good.
American 805, descend to maintain 3,000.
Descend to 3,000.
Cylinder head temperatures are nice and cool.
GPS 2920 Heavy, contact tower 118.5.
18.5, EPS 2920 Heavy up today.
American 805, turn left heading 360.
Left 360, American 805.
American 805, turn left heading 300 to intercept the localizer.
300 for the 27 right low, American 805.
Let's see.
805, descend to maintain 2,100.
On the 2,100, American 805.
Wind at 18,000 feet. Yep. See the wind barbs? Pretty much into the wind. All the way over.
American 805,
Not
might keep
terribly
traffic over your
strong.
10 o'clock and for 3.5 miles
Be all right.
northbound, 3,500 to VFR helicopter.
Okay, thank you. Looking negative. Contact American 805.
Helicopter 1 Foxtrot Delta traffic at your 130 and about 3 miles northwestbound at 2,500 descending an Airbus.
1 Fox Delta inside will maintain visual separation.
1 Fox Delta. American 805 by the airport in sight.
Airport inside, American.
Alright, we should be
American
leveling
805,
at
visual approach runway 27 right, maintain 170 or greater until Jalto.
autopilot has captured the altitude.
Visual 27 right, American 805.
We will allow the aircraft to accelerate a bit. I'm not going to pull the power back too much since we're into the wind. Go ahead and raise the cow flaps. Now we're going to accelerate a little bit. Pull the power back.
American 805, contact tower 118.5.
28 inches.
85, good night, American 805.
So we're going to be sucking the fuel down. That'll be alright. And we'll pull the prop back to
92 in the turn at Philadelphia Airport, 3 o'clock, 10 miles. Inside, 5092. 25092, turn right heading 250, clear visual approach runway 27 right.
Right heading 250, clear visual 27 right, 5092.
It's hard to get it right at 24. Right, close enough. Now let's lean the mixture out.
3,000 VFR.
Do reach a peak for best power and speed. Just lean the mixture here until we see a peak. Alright. There's the leanest peak, last peak. Now we'll enrich this to about negative 75.
Heavy, turn left heading 300, about to near the airport.
Should give us the highest horsepower. Right around negative 75. Just enrich it slowly. So there's 50.
719 heavy, reduce your speed to 190.
See if the horsepower peaks at 75. There's 253 horse. Beyond 75, it would probably come down. Horsepower. Yep, just dropped. So we'll lean it back out ever so slightly.
Street 5092, 170 or better until 5 miles final. Traffic go. Get tower 18.5.
170 is better or better with tower pushing 5092.
Very small movements. It's hard to get it right there. There we go. That'll work. 253 is at max horsepower. So that's where we need it. Sucking down 18.4 gallons.
American 814, fly front the heading to center maintain 4,000.
Per hour.
I've been heading down to 4,000, American 814.
That's not great. Economy would be about 13.5 to 14.5. That's okay. We should have plenty of fuel. So let's look at a few other parameters here.
719 heavy, you're 5 from Challenger, maintain 2,100, still establish on the final approach course, cleared RNAV from 127 right approach. Okay, 2,100 still established, and cleared RNAV, 27 right American.
Miles per gallon. 10.5.
Well, your Hoge time at 784 kilo, Mike, about 25 to the south, 3,500.
Yeah, 3 hours and 37 minutes.
2 wings, Lima Oscar, Mike.
Fuel at the current fuel flow.
784 kilo, Mike, approach altimeter 3006. Cleared
We've used 7.9 gallons since we started the engine.
3006 and maintain 3,500, clear to Bravo, 784 kilo, Mike, thank you.
Highest cylinder peak, which is cylinder number 4 currently. Okay, cabin temperature looks good.
American 719 heavy,
Oxygen's
contact
good.
tower 118.5.
We're losing it pretty fast.
118.5 American 787.
Alright. Cruise checklist. Cowl flaps are up. Landing lights are off. Pitot heat is on. Propeller heat not required. Fuel imbalance. We've already swapped tanks. Tip tank transfer. We have no fuel in the tip tanks to transfer. We've leaned the mixture. Propeller. Excuse me. Propeller
American
RPM is set.
814 is going to maintain 2,000.
Throttle is set.
Maintain 2,000.
Cabin air and heat. Check air conditioning as desired. Air conditioning is off. Engine performance.
American 2616, 6,000, with Echo.
Next phase of the checklist will be the descent. Now we need to start briefing ourselves on what approach. We're only doing 191 knot ground speed.
turn right,
That's not
180.
terrible, but
180 for American 814.
at this altitude, this power setting, without a headwind, we should be getting 220 knot ground speed. So somewhere in that vicinity. A little bit turbulent, bouncing around a little bit. I like to take the autopilot off and check the aileron trim once I get to cruise. So I'm going to disengage the autopilot and see what happens. Alright, we're turning to the right, so let's trim aileron to the left to balance the aircraft.
American 814, turn right heading 240 and join the final approach course before 2 o'clock and 2 miles toward the airport side.
240, join the final approach course.
That's
We have the
good.
airport.
Re-engage the autopilot.
American 814, clears approach
Betty, that's her
runway
name. Betty is fine.
27 right.
Now the autopilot's not holding unnecessary control inputs. The autopilot does not work the aileron trim control.
American 2616, reduce speed to 190.
That should be something that's in the checklist, frankly.
Slow to 190, then down to 3,000, American 26.
Okay, let's take a look at our airport. Looks like runway 14 right is what we want, and I've already looked at this. So we've got the RNAV GPS 14 right. That's what we're going to fly into the Tyndall Air Force Base.
814, contact tower 118.5.
Over to tower 185,
So
American 814.
Load that in the GPS and probably just go ahead and do a direct to function to this initial approach fix.
American 2616, turn right 180.
Let's go down
Right
here,
here,
go to
180, American
procedures,
2616.
select an approach. We're going to have 14 right, and should be But-O. Yep. So we're going to put that in. And we're in GPS steering mode with autopilot right now.
American 2616, instead of maintain
So
2000.
we'll do, a lot of times I will
2000, American
put the
2616.
autopilot in heading mode. Like this.
American 2616,
Put the
out of
heading
return
mode
traffic, 12 o'clock
our
and
current heading,
4 miles
put it in heading mode,
westbound at 3,000.
and then I'll do an activate,
American 2616.
just so I don't get, I don't know, sometimes the aircraft wants to turn when I don't want it to. So I'll keep it in heading mode, and see, we're getting off course now, so now I'll just go back into nav mode. And naturally, if I'd done that without going into heading mode with autopilot, the aircraft would have just turned to the GPS course. I just don't like the aircraft turning to a course that I haven't seen on the GPS just yet. So I usually like to put it in heading mode first.
2616, clears approach
And
runway
that's
27
pretty much
right,
what I do
maintain
in
170
reality
knots
as
to
well.
5 mile final.
Clear to visual.
I don't know, I've had the aircraft do kind of a funky turn on me before, unexpectedly, and that's always gives a kind of a startling effect. So let's see, it's a 277 course. Oops, I just hit a button on my keyboard, and I don't know what I just hit. I hope it didn't do anything. We're going
American
277.
2616, traffic no factor, contact tower 118.5.
18.5, American 2616, we'll see you.
Okay, now what we need to do is we need to figure out what altitude we need to be at upon reaching the initial approach fix, which is going to be 3,000. You see the line above and below tells you you have to be at 3,000. Not 3,000 and above, but at 3,000.
3,000, turn left heading
And there will
300,
be a
of course.
procedural turn.
300 join and 3,000 for guard.
Is there a procedural turn? Flight plan? No, there is not. So, odds are what I will do, there's not a procedural turn on the approach plate. That's obvious. So what I will do is I will vector myself as though it's air traffic control, probably on a little bit of a downwind leg, and then I'll make a left base turn
and you'll
to
be outside
intercept
the TFR.
the
Small
final
TFR,
approach
radar
course
curve,
at the
determined
initial
frequency
approach
approved.
phase
Northeast tower
at
from
3,000 feet.
26.9er.
Minimum safe altitude is 2,700 feet within 25 nautical miles of runway 14 right. So let's see here. It'll be an LPV approach. It's a WAS, WAS enabled 530, 430. Decision altitude is 215 feet, which is 200 feet above the ground. So we're going to put that
2838, ports in 11 o'clock and
radio
14 miles
altimeter
north
or
airport.
radar altitude.
Inside.
Crap, what was
Air
it,
4838, clears approach runway 27 right, maintain 170 knots to a 5 mile final.
Clear visual, 27
It's already
right,
at 200.
and 175 miles.
Go. Final approach course is a 138 degree. We'll intercept the final approach fix at 1,600 feet. Touchdown zone is 15 feet.
Approach 6207 and 6,000.
Airport elevation 17 feet.
6207, approach order.
Missed approach. Climb straight ahead to 600 feet, then a climbing
4838,
left turn to
contact tower
3,000 feet.
118.5.
Nincy.
G5 was super
Nincy. I tend to butcher these freaking waypoint names.
United 2667, instead of maintain 3000, turn right heading 180.
I call sign block.
United 2667, instead of maintain 3000, turn right heading 180.
Down 3,000 on a 180 heading in.
None of that will apply to us. It's looking good. Now, what I want to get in is a VNAV, 3,000 feet. So punch that in.
American 1943, approach, trying to maintain 4,000.
4,000, American 1943.
And since I'm going to have to vector myself a little bit, I want to be at that altitude. Let's say 5 nautical miles. Yeah.
United 2667.
Because air traffic control would get me down closer to 3,000 feet before I arrive at the final approach fix.
Approach from light 27 left, maintain 170
Just do 5 nautical miles before when I'm doing that. The final approach fix. And we're going to descend at That's going to be 37 minutes from now.
American 1943 to center maintain 3,000.
No, I'm going to do 1,500 feet.
3,360 heading American 1943.
That'll shorten up the time. Or no, it'll lengthen the time. I don't know what I'm thinking. Let's just see.
Piedmont 6207 to center maintain 4,000.
Yeah, 4,000 minutes. That's okay. I'll stick with 1,500. So we got that in.
2667, contact tower 118.5.
Over tower, United 2667.
Typically in an aircraft like this that is not pressurized, from such a high altitude of 17,000 feet, a 1,500 foot descent rate can be very uncomfortable, to say the least. Not only for a pilot, but or not only for passengers, but the pilot as well. It'd be a good day to be chewing on some gum or something.
4,500 direct hearing.
Trigger 4,500, approach order.
I have gotten pressure differences in my head before that actually creates quite a bit of pain up in your around your eye sockets and stuff from coming down too fast. Your ears popping is one thing, and feeling kind of congested, all that stuff.
American 1943, turn 10 degrees left and reduce speed to 180.
I can function with that. It's just annoying. But when you start getting pressure built up in these cavities in and around your eye sockets and your skull and stuff, you can get some really sharp pains from descending from high altitudes too quickly. And generally speaking, about 1,000 foot per minute descent is usually comfortable. Sometimes, if you're not extremely high up, a 500 foot descent is even better. We may have to come down quicker than that, because the oxygen is getting low.
American 847 to center maintain 4,000.
I could just simply refill it with this, but that'd be kind of cheating, wouldn't it? I don't know. We'll go ahead and put the final approach course in the standby, which is 138. Not standby, the nav 2 here. SA 138.
Again, 1943, 410 to 11 o'clock and 13 miles port to airport in sight.
Airport, site American 1943.
American 1943, clear to approach runway 27 right, maintain 170 knots, 25 miles final.
So I'll put it at 140.
27 right, 170 to 5 out, American 1943.
1, 2, that'd be 1, 3. Make sure the 430 is in GPS mode. Everything's still looking good. Fuel is getting balanced. I would also have an audible timer, stopwatch kind of thing to help remind me to swap tanks. But I don't.
Piedmont 6207.
Usually you swap tanks about every 15-20 minutes.
3192.
It actually depends on your fuel flow rate, which we're at 18.4, and the imbalance, you don't want it any more than about a 15-gallon imbalance on your tank, so 18.4 gallons per hour. You would technically, if the tanks were balanced, you would have to swap it at 35, 40 minutes, something like that. Maybe 45 minutes, every 45 minutes or so. I like to do it every 15, 20 minutes. Just to keep the imbalance even closer. So a 15-gallon difference is a maximum.
Continue that right-hand turn to a 240.
It's better just to do it more often to keep it balanced out. And we got a little while, so if you guys want to fast forward through this, by all means, just go ahead and do it. I'm going to record the whole thing rather than doing like a part 1, part 2. I will probably just keep the autopilot running and get up, walk away from this for a little bit, and then come back to it. But if I do, I'll let you know. I don't do any video editing stuff. It just takes more time that I don't have.
Heavy approach, Roger, try to maintain 5,000.
And I know I'm squawking 1200, but we're IFR, so we'll put forth 4334 transport. Well, I did that. We'll act like, we'll pretend we're on an IFR flight plan, which we are an IFR flight plan. We're just not talking air traffic control. They're talking all around us, but speaking of, we need to find out. We're going to lose these frequencies here pretty soon. Let's see here. When did I do the direct to function? I don't need to change this. I could get rid of some of these waypoints, but
Again, 847.
I think I will get rid of that.
Maintain 3,000, turn left heading 360.
There you go. That'll work. Let's see, let's take a look at this airport. Open up our comms. Flight services.
First Piedmont 6180, level 6,000.
Control Center.
Piedmont 6180, approach Roger.
28625. Put that in.
Again, 847.
Yeah, that's another thing that we can do.
340.
Go ahead and load in our frequencies. North above 5,000. Below 5,000. So eventually we will be north below 5,000. Put 20.825 in.
American 741 heavy, turn left heading 010.
Left turn 010, American 741 heavy.
And go ahead and put the ground frequency in as well. Usually you put ground on ConTube. Where is ground? There's the tower. Jacksonville Center, we've already got that in. Tower.
6007 clears
So
approach.
this is what you
runway
call
27
just staying
right.
ahead of the aircraft. And let's find some radio navigation aids.
American 847, turn left, bank 300 and accept the final approach course.
Just for situational awareness. We got the Vortac here at Tyndall. It's 33.7.
Break air 4897, ascend and maintain 5,000.
Maintain 5,000, break air 4897.
Wait a minute. Oh, we can't use that. That's just a TACAN. That's not a Vortac. Which is a UHF frequency that I cannot use in this aircraft.
American 13,000.
I can, however, use this. This is a VHF with a, this is a Vortac, so it's a VOR with a TACAN in it. 17.5. Seminole.
American 847 port 10 to 11 o'clock and 14 miles. American 847 clears approach runway 27 right, maintain 180 knots to 5 miles final.
Is there another one?
Right, 180 to 5 mile per hour.
These really aren't necessary. It's just, like I said, for situational awareness. Anything beyond, there's another TACAN. Can't use that.
American 1165, contact tower 18.5.
Alright, 1165, good night.
Another TACAN. Is that a TACAN? Yeah. So those are used for military purposes. Alright. Well, if I had to go terribly far,
American 741 heavy descent and maintain 3,000, sliding 360.
Down to 3,000, 360, heading American 741 heavy.
112 to then in down here. I'm sure we're too far away to pick that up. Oh yeah. I don't think we want to be going that way anyways because of the weather.
Piedmont 6207, maintain 180
it's
knots till 5
kinda
miles
all
final,
north
contact tower
there.
18.5.
185 out, 85.
Our alternate airport is Dothan, which their weather is not looking great. Looks like all this heavy rain might be moving in. That's what I can do. Put Dothan's VOR, that's a Vortac.
Piedmont 6180, descend and maintain 4,000.
Down to 4,000, Piedmont 6180.
I think we might be too far away to get that. Yep. It's okay. That's why we have a GPS. I'll go ahead and put 11.6 in now. Identifier is Romeo Sierra, so that's correct.
Air 4500, turn right heading 180.
180, break air 4500.
Rather than having Seminole in, I would rather have Marion. So it's going to be on 1400.
Again, 470, or correction, 741 heavy, turn left heading 300 and accept the final approach course.
Left 300, intercept the final approach course, American
I think
741 heavy.
we might be close enough to pick that one up already. Let's see. Let's go into heading, autopilot heading mode. That way we will hold our course.
American 847, contact final one, or correction,
Yeah,
contact
let's
tower
flip
18.5.
Wait a minute. 1400, yeah.
American 741 heavy, continue
I'm
left-hand
picking
turn
that one
to
up, too far
a
away. 97.
250, intercept the final approach course.
And you think we can get it?
heading for the N7X.
That's okay. Let's go back into nav mode. As we got closer to
4897.
crap, where are we going? Panama City area? We would be able to pick that VOR.
Air 4500 traffic to follow heavy 787 mile east of Martin at 3,600.
We could navigate to that one and then up to
4500
Dothan.
follow the traffic cleavers approach runway
If need be.
27 right, maintain 170 knots to 5 mile final.
7 right,
That's
170 to 5
all
out for
if
here, 45.
our GPS failed for some reason. Having the radio navigation as a backup navigation system is pretty important. Let's check out our VNAV.
American 741 heavy, 412 o'clock,
27
13 miles
minutes.
towards the airport site.
Until top of descent.
American 741 heavy, cleavers approach runway 27 right, maintain 180 knots to 5 mile final.
Clear visual 27 right, 180 knots, 5 mile final. American
Still looking
741
good.
heavy.
I check this occasionally to see if anything has failed that I haven't noticed. Active failures. Nothing. Like I said, it's kind of my own personal rule. If something fails while I'm in flight, I just address it and deal with it. And either continue or declare an emergency and get down to the ground. If it fails while I'm on the ground, I just fix it as though I had an aircraft AMP mechanic work on the aircraft. If I fix it while I'm in flight, to me that's kind of cheating.
Blue Streak 9949, set to maintain 5,000, then reduce speed to 180.
Which you most certainly can
Exactly, 180, Blue Streak
in the
9949.
Black Square aircraft, but like I said, to me that's cheating.
American 1367, descend to maintain 5,000.
Then 5,000, American 1367.
All right, there's nothing else I can do right now to get ahead of the flight. Currently, we could do a. We're still going to 14 right. The winds are still favoring that. Give the weather a look real quick.
Approach Blue Streak
Wind is
5323,
1405,
6,000,
visibility
Blue Streak
10
5323,
miles,
rotor.
70 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 dew point, 64.
Air 4897, turn left heading at 300, descend to maintain 3,000.
Left heading 300, descend to maintain 3,000.
Piedmont 6180, turn right heading 180. Black. Piedmont 6180, turn right heading 180.
Right heading 180, Piedmont 6180.
I wish Navigraph would have like a Zulu time up here somewhere, over here or something, where the current Zulu time is always up. That way when you looked at the
Approach American 1440.
VTAR,
American
you can see
1440, approach roger.
that this information was taken on the 8th of the current month at 23:55 Zulu. I don't even know what time it is right now. I'm not sure if, you know, if you can find Zulu time in here. I don't think. I don't know. In the options.
Brick Air 4897, 10 miles from Martin, maintain 3,000 until established on the final approach course cleared. RNAV 27 right approach, maintain
I can always pull it
170
up on
knots
an
to
app
5
on my
mile final.
phone. One that I actually use.
497, maintain 3,000,
It's an electronic flight bag that I actually use when I'm flying.
170 until
And
5
it is
miles.
currently 043 Zulu. So, crap, where'd it go? 043, so that's almost an hour old. So that's going to change in about 12 minutes.
Piedmont 6180, turn right heading 240, intercept the final approach course.
Right heading 240 to intercept the final approach course, Piedmont 6180.
Which I can't go by the Zulu time on this because I changed the real world time.
Contact tower 118.5.
If I hadn't done that, I could go by the Zulu time in the aircraft, or UT time, which is what this yoke is showing right now, 1942.
Blue Streak 9949, set to maintain 4,000.
Altimeter.
Set to maintain 4,000, Blue Streak 9949.
See what the altimeter is for Tallahassee. 3014. Be kind of gentle with that so the autopilot doesn't go all crazy.
American 2528, 3 miles from Martin, turn left heading 300, maintain 3000, still established localizer, clear out 27.
I could just hit the default key on the keyboard to automatically put in the altimeter, and the default key is B. But I'm trying to go by what
Piedmont 6180, set to maintain 3,000.
the weather says in here versus real world weather. I have the real world weather injected right now.
Streak 9949, turn left heading at 360.
A little bit of turbulence there.
Piedmont.
You can check that again, see if that's changed. Where's it at? I got a little spot right here. Don't see anything showing up here. We'll be in a descent down through here, so let's look at 14,000.
Streak 9949, turn left heading at 360.
Nothing.
Left heading 360, Blue Streak 9949.
Nothing. Surprised there's not turbulence over here around these storms.
Piedmont 6180, 10 miles from Martin, maintain 3,000 until stops on the final approach course, third RNAV, right approach, maintain 180 knots to a 5 miles final.
Alright, sir,
And we'll check the icing levels.
70, still 2 miles final, or 5 miles final.
So there's 18.
Piedmont 6180, maintain 180 knots, form until 5 miles
east of
final.
us.
20, sorry, for...
So by the time we get over here, we'll be at a much lower altitude. There's 14. There's 10. Below 10,000 feet, we should be good. So we just bear that in mind as we continue to move eastward.
Blue Streak 9949, fly heading at 350.
Heading 350, Blue Streak 9949.
They're way off in the distance, but you can see it's kind of clouds are starting to get dense east and north of us, east, northeast. All right, guys, I'm probably going to step away for a minute. Let's see, what's our time? 20 minutes. I'll come back at roughly 18 minutes.
American
We'll step away for about 18 minutes.
maintain 4,000.
4,000,
And I'm just going to keep it flying. You guys can fast forward if you like, but I'm going to pause the head tracker, and hopefully nothing goes wrong with the aircraft while I step away. But I'll be back here shortly.
Blue Streak 5323, reduce speed to 180, then it's going to maintain 5,000.
Reduce speed to 180, then it's going to maintain 5,000, Blue Streak 5323.
American. And 1440, reduce speed to 180, then it's going to maintain 5,000.
Speed 180, then 5,000. Switching 40.
Brickyard 4897, contact tower 118.5.
Tower 85, Brickyard 4897.
9949, turn left heading 300, intercept the final approach course, descend and maintain 3000.
Left heading 300, intercept the final approach course, descend down to 3000, Blue Street 9949.
American 2528, contact tower 18.5.
185, American 2528.
American 1367, turn right heading 180.
A180, American 1367.
Blue Streak 9949, 10 miles from Martin, maintain 3000 until established on the final approach course, cleared RNAV 27 right approach, maintain 170 knots to a 5 mile final.
Alright, Blue Street 9949, maintain 3000 until established on the final approach course, clear for the RNAV 27 right approach, maintain 175 mile final.
American 2365 on 6000.
American 2365, Village Roger. Piedmont 6180, contact tower 118.5.
Tower Tower, Piedmont 6180, good day.
District 5043, descend and maintain 4000, turn left heading 360.
Descend maintain 4000, left turn main 360, Blue Street 5040.
American 1367, descend and maintain 3000.
3000, American 1367.
Piedmont 6236, reduce speed to 180, then descend and maintain 5000.
180, then descend maintain 5000, Piedmont 6236.
American 1367, turn right heading 240, join the final approach course.
Okay, 240, going to 5, I'll 27 right, American 1367.
American 1440, reduce speed to 170.
Speed 170, American 1440.
American 1367, 10 miles from Martin, maintain 3,000 until established on the final approach course, cleared RNAV 27 right approach, maintain 170 knots, 05 mile final.
175, 30 RNAV 27 right, American 7.
American 2017, contact tower on 8.5.
Blue Streak 5043, reduce speed to 170.
Flying to 170, Blue Streak 5043.
P-1 6886, turn on thing 340, report the field in sight, 10 o'clock, 1 mile.
340, we have the field in sight, P-1 6886.
P-1 6886, clear visual approach 227 right, maintain 170 knots, 5 mile final.
170 till 5 mile final, clear for the visual, 27 right, P-1 6886.
Blue Streak 9949, contact tower 118.5.
Tower 118.5, Blue Streak 9949.
Streak 5323, descend to maintain 4,000.
Descend to maintain 4,000, Blue Streak 5323.
Blue Streak 5043, turn left heading 300, join the final approach course.
Left heading 300, join the final approach course, Blue Streak 5043.
American 2365, reduce speed to 180, then ascend to maintain 5,000.
Reduce speed to 180, then ascend to maintain 5,000, American 2365.
Streak 5323, turn righting 180. Blue Streak 5043, 10 miles from Martin, maintain 3,000 until established on the final approach course, cleared RNAV 27 right approach, maintain 170 knots, 205 mile final.
Maintain 3,000 until established, cleared for the RNAV, runway 27 right, and maintain 170 until 5 mile final, Blue Streak 5043.
American 1440, turn left heading 360.
That's 360, American 1440.
Good afternoon, American 2908,
American 2908, Felix Roger. Piedmont 6236, reduce speed to 170.
170, Piedmont 6236.
Blue Street 5323, turn right heading 240, join the final approach course.
Right, start heading 240, join the final, Blue Street 5323.
Piedmont 6086, contact tower, 1825.
Number tower 185, regress your 9 Piedmont 60.
Alright guys, if you couldn't tell, I'm back.
365, reduce speed to 170, then ascend to maintain 4,000.
Went ahead and swapped our fuel tank. This is probably going to be the longest video I've ever posted. But that's alright.
American 1367, contact tower 18.5.
Alright, 1367, switch it.
As you can see on the 530, I have the vertical speed required up, so we're getting closer to a 1,500 foot descent.
American 1440, ascend to maintain 4,000.
We should get a message letting us know we're approaching VNAV, and it always tells you that before you arrive at a 1,500 foot descent. It anticipates your ground speed increasing in the descent. So when you get that message, even though you don't see 1,500 here, you want to go ahead and start a descent. Initially, just roll the vertical speed down to 1,500 feet
10 miles from Mark,
and see where it stabilizes in the descent.
Cleared RNAV 27 right approach.
If it never reaches 1,500 and it only gets down to say 1,300 or 1,400, then adjust your vertical speed to that. Just maintain whatever the vertical speed required is.
And Blue Street 5323, maintain 170 knots to a 5 mile final.
Having the descent to the top of the descent, so we'll go ahead and roll the pre-selected altitude down to 3,000, which is what we're going to. I'm trying not to pass it. Sometimes I get to scrolling on this too quick and it starts jumping several thousand feet. There we go. Now right now, if I wanted to start a descent, I could. I just need to start descending at 1,000 feet. As my ground speed increases, I will slowly but surely have to increase the descent rate. For those of you who don't know how to I like using the 530.
Mon 6236.
This is actually what I'm used to using. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. If you didn't know how to change these, on the nav page, just go to menu and change fields is what you're looking for. So you press enter on that, it will highlight the one that that you're trying to adjust, use the outer knob
American
to move to the
1441
next.
miles from Martin, maintain
So you have 4 here that you can choose from.
establish on the Con approach course, third RNAV 27 right approach. Maintain
So let's go back
170
up
knots
to
to a
say
5 mile
vertical speed required. If I want to change that to something, use the inner knob to select the field type, and then use the big outer knob to scroll through it to select one. And only the ones that are highlighted here are ones that you can use in this 530 in the sim. So it tells you,
Blue Streak 5043,
BRG is bearing.
18.5.
You got your distance, direct track, and in the top left, I like to put the vertical speed required. So it tells you how quickly you need to descend to arrive at whatever altitude you've put in
6236,
the
turn rating at 240, join the Con approach course.
And to back out of that, you just hit clear. Goes out, then you'll need to hit clear one more time to get out of the selection for the display. Let's see. Do I even have display next red?
GPS 2920, heavy
Yeah.
planning 030,
You
vector
have that
final.
up.
030, 2920 heavy.
It's not showing anything on here. There is obviously rain and storms out here. It's moving to the north, though, so it's moving away from us. All right, we're getting
American
closer.
2908, just had to maintain 5,000.
5,000, American 2908.
But technically, by the time we get to the airport will be
American
VFR.
2365, turn left heading 360.
So we could technically cancel, quote unquote, cancel the IFR at any point and just fly visually and do a visual
Blue Streak
approach to the
5323,
runway.
contact tower
But for those of you who are still learning how to fly IFR in the sim, I'll just do IFR all the way in. It's at this point in time that air traffic control would essentially start giving you altitude assignments to descend for this approach. And the moment they give you heading assignments, you're no longer flying via the GPS
on the final approach course, third RNAV 27 right approach, maintain
navigation.
170 knots.
You just fly that. They give you vectors.
170 knots at 3,000.
So here's approaching VNAV, so we need to start down now. So you can see it says 1400, but you see it building quickly. So we're going to vertical speed mode. And I have to click this so that I can see it and just start rolling that down.
American 2365, turn left
Not
heading
too fast.
300, join the final approach course.
300, join
There's 1500. Now it's telling us we need to descend at more than 1500. But we'll just stay at 1500 because as we get lower, the altitude, the air density will get thicker and the aircraft's ground speed will start to slow. If it gets excessive, then we'll pull the power back.
American 1440, contact tower 118.5.
Now that we're in the descent, we need to increase the mixture. And we're going to go full rich. So the mixture's full rich. And it's not too turbulent, so if we get to bouncing around too much, I'll have to slow down. Currently, we are in the yellow arc of the indicated airspeed, which is the turbulent airspeed penetration speed. So anytime you're in turbulent air, you're not supposed to be in the yellow arc. If it gets to jump around too much, then we'll slow down. As you can see, our ground speed has increased significantly. And we'll have to start reducing the heat. Now that we're in the descent, go ahead and go with the landing lights on.
Contact tower 118.5.
The destination altimeter. Should be 3012. And and it has changed.
2908, set to maintain 4000, turn left heading 360.
4000 left 360, American 2908.
Still favoring runway 14 right, so that's fine. 3012. Starting to bounce around a bit. We're at the top of the yellow arc. We're okay. So let's get 3012 put in. Almost there.
2908, set to maintain 4000, turn left heading 360.
4000 left 360, American 2908.
Airspeed's jumping around a little bit. Let's pull the power back. It's about 2700. Just a little bit.
American 805, turn left heading 330, Fort the field.
Currently on the fullest tank.
1 mile.
Left 330, American 805. American 805 has zero.
American 805, clear visual approach right 27
Now, bearing
right,
in mind, we are
170
going to reach 3,000 feet
75 miles.
before we get to the initial approach fix. What was it, 4 or 5 miles before? 5 miles. So we got wiggle room here to get down to 3,000. Now that we're in the descent phase, we need to check our checklist. Descent, cowl flaps closed, throttle reduced, mixture enriched,
tower
engine
118.5.
performance monitored, cylinder head temperature, minimum of 116 degrees C. So we look good on that.
American 2908, turn left heading 300, join the final approach course, set to maintain 3000.
300, down to 3000, join the final approach course, American 2908.
And we'll just kind of review our approach here. And where we're going to taxi off the runway. So we have an overrun or just
2908, 5 miles from mark, maintain 3000 until established on the final approach course, cleared RNAV.
We could exit at any of these taxiways. We'll just pull up here and pick a spot.
And clear RNAV 278, 175 mile final, American 2908.
So be
American 2908, contact tower 118.5.
power back to
good day,
about
American
26 now.
2908.
Keep our speed up as much as possible. You can already see the airport. It's right over there.
Air 2179, set to maintain 3000.
Maintain 3000, thanks,
November 734, Alpha Uniform, approach up.
Pull the power back a bit more. Pull it back to about 2200. Probably leave it there for a little while. We'll get slowed way down. We're starting to get too turbulent. So we're going to pull the power back to about 15 inches and no less.
Air 2179, port 10 to 11 o'clock and 13 miles report to airport inside.
Airport inside,
It's running pretty cool right
Air
now. Cylinder head temperature.
179, clears approach runway 27 right,
fine.
maintain 170 knots to a 5 mile funnel.
I want to get to the lower side of this turbulent air penetration speed on yellow arc.
Spirit 2179, contact tower 118.
To the approach.
Approach American 470 south.
We'll put tower in.
Approach, roger.
3395.
American 47 is on the maintain 3000.
3000.
And I'm not talking to air traffic control, it's just a matter of going through the motions. And we are out of oxygen. I wasn't paying attention to that. I would have been for sure if this had been reality. I'd have ran out of oxygen, had to descend. Okay, we're 10 miles out from the initial approach fix here, so I'm going to start vectoring myself.
GPS 2920,
So
heavy
we're going to
traffic
heading mode.
360.
And we'll set the HSI to the final approach course of 138. And we'll turn to roughly a downwind leg.
Piedmont 118 Quebec, 6000.
Piedmont 118 Quebec approach, roger.
And we'll lessen our descent rate to about 1,000 feet per minute.
American 470, turn left heading
Bring the power back
360.
up.
360, American 470.
It's about 22 inches. It's 85 degrees in here
American
already.
470 traffic off your left wing at about 2.5 miles at 4,500 feet northbound Cessna.
Inside, American 470.
Now we're essentially on the approach phase of the flight, so we'll check the approach checklist. Seats and seat belts. Fuel selector, fullest tank. We are on the fullest tank, which is the left tank. Fuel imbalance, maximum 15 gallons. Tip tank transfer, not required.
November
Oxygen is off,
734,
fan
Alpha
inflation
Uniform
on,
traffic
pitot
off
heat
your
is
right
on,
wing at about 2
propeller
miles,
heat is
Airbus
off,
descending out of
air conditioning is
4,000
off.
for 3,000.
cowl flaps as required. Mixture, max power mixtures all the way full rich. Flaps to approach, which we're not at that point, so we'll stop the checklist there.
Approach American 470, clear for slow.
American
And
470,
let's
speed your discretion.
turn at about a 45 degree angle to the final approach fix, which will be a due west heading. .000 feet to go.
Piedmont 118 Quebec, ready speed 2190.
Turn out Piedmont 120.
Now I'm basically acting as air traffic control, vectoring myself onto the final approach fix, which we are beyond the final approach fix now, so I can go ahead and do a base turn.
470, turn left direct Jalto to center maintain.
And while that's happening,
Alright,
I
turn
will
Jalto
do a
down to
direct
2,000,
to
American
function.
470.
And we'll go into nav mode. The aircraft is already turning, so now we're in GPS steering mode with the autopilot. And technically, we could go ahead and engage approach mode with the autopilot, but I do not like to do that until I'm getting glide slope indication. This is an LPV approach, so we'll get glide slope indication on the HSI, NAV1, and NAV2 VOR receiver. Once I get that, then I will engage the autopilot, or the approach mode on the autopilot.
American
Now,
470,
once we cross
14 miles report to airport.
the initial approach fix at 3,000,
American 470 clears approach.
we can descend down to
170 knots or better to
1,600 feet to
Alright, clear
intercept
visual, 27
glide
right,
path.
170 or better,
at
5 mile final, American 470.
That's how they want you to fly it. A lot of guys like to engage the approach mode. Sometimes just like it says up here, where is it at? The VGSI and RNAV glide path not coincide. So when you reach this fix, sometimes the glide slope is actually below you. So if you want to fly it correctly, you descend
Uniform Roger.
to the 1,600 feet once you cross it. No matter if you're getting LPV and glide slope information when crossing it, it's going to work in speed mode, and we descend manually.
American Air 5, contact tower 1845.
About 500 feet per minute there. Keep our heading bug up. The glide path happens to be above us here, but technically that's not the way it's supposed to be flown. You're not supposed to engage the approach mode and intercept the glide path before the final approach fix. You're supposed to intercept the glide path at the final approach fix.
American 470, contact tower.
Like I could level the aircraft off right now
American 470.
and just allow the glide path to come down to my altitude and intercept it. But you're not supposed to do that. Man, it is hot here again. I'm going to turn this thing on. Jeez. I have to get the AC on. I don't know. Let's increase that descent rate.
November 734 off the uniform traffic, 2 o'clock and 2.5 miles.
Once we level off at 1,600, then I will engage. Well, I can engage the approach mode now. I just want to make sure I'm below the glide slope so that the autopilot does not couple with the glide slope until I reach 1,600. This will give us a chance to level off, slow the aircraft, and get the flaps, landing gear and flaps down. So at glide slope intercept, we'll go gear down, flaps to approach, and we'll do a GUMPS check and before landing checklist at that point. Pull the power back a little bit more. Go ahead and bring the prop up to 2,500 RPM.
Flying present heading, descend to maintain 3,000.
Present heading 3,000.
Autopilot is intercepting 1,600. And just as a review, missed approach altitude is going to be 3,000. Alright, so let's pull the power on back so we can slow down here.
United 513, Philly,
Grabbing the glide slope any minute. Landing gear extension speed and approach flaps is 154 knots. So we need to get to that for the autopilot captures the glide slope. There we go.
American
Let's get ready
1684
to
9 o'clock and 10
stay right at
miles towards the
154
airport.
knots. 150 knots. There we go. Gear down.
American
Flaps to
1684
approach.
clears approach
Bring
runway
the power up to
27
about
right.
20 inches. Alright, GUMPS check. Gas, we're on the fullest tank, undercarriage down, 3 green. Mixture's full rich, prop is going full forward. And switches. Pitot heat is on. Vent switch is
American
on.
1684, contact tower
Vent switch,
118.5.
vent blower.
left heading 340.
That's within the 340, you'd be on 2920 Heavy.
I want to make sure we stay within the white arc for the full flaps speed. Full flaps will slow us down pretty quick. Alright, so there's 500 feet within minimums. Flaps full. Bring the power back to about 18 or 19 inches. Let the aircraft slow.
Flight 1650 approach, flighting at 040, just going to maintain 3000.
Looking for about 80 to 90 knots depending on the winds. Slowly increase the power. Coming in over this tree line, so we'll probably stick somewhere around 85, 90 knots.
United 513, clear
And we're going to get the cow flaps down.
miles towards the airport side.
United 513, 145.
United
Get a little
513,
wind shear
clear the
coming
approach
over the tree
runway
line.
27 right,
So
maintain
keep your speed up.
170 knots, so we're greater.
VREF plus 10, plus 5. Still managing power, there's minimums. Autopilot off. Get rid of the flight director. And we'll hand fly it down to the runway. Try to stay on the glide path. It's really tempting to just dive down to the runway here, but
heading 110.
Spirit 20, or correction, Spirit
Stay on the glide
266
path.
approach, roger.
start reducing the power. There we go. Power's to idle.
13,
Let the aircraft settle into ground effect. And we'll just hold it off a little bit. Got a little bounce there. Not bad. Lower the nose. Pull back on the yoke. Tail heavy. Too much. Brake.
Frontier Flight
And pull
1650,
back on the
roger.
yoke.
Traffic to be following is an Airbus
Aircraft slowed down.
2 miles north of Martin at 3,700.
Did we ever swap to... No, we never swapped to the tower frequency.
Delta 806,
That's okay.
cross 4 left, Mike, contact ground.
Spirit cross 4 left and over to
I was not prompted by air traffic control. They forgot to tell me. Let's get the taxi lights on. Bump the RPMs up to about 1,000 here. Pull off the runway. We'll do our after landing checklist.
Number 4566, cross 4 left,
Clean
up to
everything
Alpha,
up.
contact ground.
Just come to a stop right here. Reset the elevator trim. Flaps are coming up. They say not to, if you have landing gear, don't put the flaps up,
Break out
you know,
3435, cross 4
immediately
left,
after
Yankee,
touchdown,
contact ground.
because you might accidentally grab the
cross
landing
4
gear
left
lever.
Yankee, contact ground, Mercure
Lift the landing
3435.
gear. Some aircraft have a fail safe where you can't lift it if you're on the ground. Some aircraft don't. Alright, after land, well, let's just go through the flow here. So, transponder mode C, any anti-ice off, landing lights off, taxi lights on, and
Brickyard 3694, exit on the high speed, Papa 4. And then
we'll
taxi,
lean them extra
Papa,
just a little
Yankee,
bit.
hold short of runway
cowl
4 left.
flaps are open.
Top 4, Papa Yankee,
Now
short 4 left,
Take a
Brickyard
look at the
30.
checklist. After landing, cowl flaps. Flaps are up. Landing lights as required. Pitot heat off. Air conditioning. Don't need it. Cabin air and heat.
2606,
Next-
1006, runway
Next
4 right, clear
checklist
line.
is shut down.
4 right, clear line, 2606.
Kind of a pet peeve of mine. I like to delete the flight plan. And that's pretty much it. Just find us a place to park.
Brickyard 3641, Island 4.
Brickyard 3641, tower, wind 1007, runway 4 right, clear line.
4 right, clear line, Brickyard 3641.
Oh, we're not on ground control. Shoot. Yeah, air traffic control.
Keep on
Slipping up again.
6208, cross runway 27 right, join Sierra.
Alright, cross 27 right, join the Sierra. 2 Tango Mike. Pretty big airport. Never been here. Just pull right up to the tower. We no longer need the radios, so we'll get the avionics off. Get the vent blower off. And taxi lights off. Get the nav light off since it's not dark. There we go. Park and brake. Throttle to idle. Mixture to idle cutoff. There we go. Standby alternator off. Alternator, battery, ignition, and then all the other lights. Usually you leave the beacon light on. And that's it. Shutdown checklist, park and brake, avionics, all sub-pedal switches, throttle closed, propeller, high RPM, mixture cut off, magnetos off, alternators off, battery switch off, park and brake release. So release park and brake. That way they can move the aircraft around if they need to. And that's it. That's a long video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Catch you later.